Hello everyone, this is Tanmay, member of Man City Mumbai Supporters Club, and I welcome you to this episode where we will talk about our game, Leeds United versus Manchester City. Well, I would like to first welcome all my guests, Yash, Savan, Sanam, Sid. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey,
I
Right.
bye.
I would like to remind all my viewers that we are recording this after all the Premier League matches are done. So there were certain results that might have changed our mood, but we are here to talk about City game. So let's just let's try to focus on our game. So about this game against Leeds, we all, as we talked in our preview also that this is going to be a very tricky game because Leeds were also the team that it could have exploited our weaknesses. But in first half, City were quite good. City started very well. Second half, it was like where the game got like the Wolves game. So how do you sum up this game? Starting with the Sanam.
Okay, so we started the game on a really, really front foot. I think in the first 15, 20 minutes, we were beyond excellent. Probably we should have like scored 3 or 4 goals and finished the game off. But as it happens, we just create a lot of chances, have a lot of the ball, score that one goal, and then God knows what happens. We are not able to score the other. And I think all the other teams in the Premier League now knows City's weakness. You cannot counteract City in the first 15, 20 minutes. But if you let City score one goal in the first 15, 20 minutes and then you go hard at them, they are very, very vulnerable. And the same thing happened again. So
Right.
really disappointing result.
Right. Coming to you, Stavan. What do you think? How was the first half performance? Like we started really well, but there were a few chances that we should have
yeah, in the
definitely.
first half, yeah, we started really well, and that we know that Marcelo Bielsa is one of the best managers in the entire world, and he knew that we have a weakness of the left back, and there were a couple of moments when their right winger, I think it was Costa, who was exploiting Mendy, and the game was in her hands until our individual mistakes, which is something that we have carried on from last season, and something that we have not till worked on. And yeah, it was a very entertaining match, but in the end, Guardiola was settling for a draw. He was bringing in some defensive options. So yeah, he was also happy with the draw.
Right. So, coming to you, Yash, what would you like to say about the especially the first performance? Because we see this with City, with the very high intensity, but they, always majority they fail to keep that intensity high all the time. So, how do you sum up that first performance, especially?
First half was quite good, especially the first 30 minutes, as Sanam said. Like we started on a very high note and we were quite excellent, beyond excellent, in fact. So yeah, I was quite happy with the first half. But as on the time passed, it was quite disappointing to see, and what Leeds did was quite commendable. So yeah, happy with the first half, but second half was disappointing.
What about you, Sid? What was your reaction about the game?
Um, we missed a lot of chances. I think De Bruyne hit the post in the first half from his free
Yeah,
kick, and there was this round of play where Sterling cut in from the left, and he gave a good ball across the goal, and nobody was there to finish it.
yeah,
So if either of the chances goes in, it's a completely different game. The second half would have been more easier. It would have been more relaxed. We would have just maintained possession, and gone and won the 3 points. But obviously that didn't happen. We got a lackluster second half from City's defense. Obviously conceding from the corner. Edison should have held it, but even if he didn't catch the ball, Mendy was right next to him. I don't know what the hell was he doing. It was just a simple clearance, man. It's a simple clearance. I don't know what else can I expect from 50 million signing. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. I think we could have won that game. I knew it was going to be a tough fixture, but I think we could have won that game. So I'm kind of disappointed about it.
right. So we're talking about our defensive situation for last 2 3 seasons, but there is one issue that we don't talk about enough. Like this is the situation we are facing from 17-18 season. Even when we got 100 points, there was the issue that our strikers don't finish the chances that they get. We won so many games 6-0, 7-0, but in reality, they should have been 11-0, 12-0. We have so many chances that we create on the day. So, how much the responsibility that our forward should also take, like the player like Raheem Sterling or Mahrez also, they should take this responsibility. What do you think, Sanam? That our forward should also step it up, right?
Uh, Actually, had Jesus and Aguero been fit, and we would have lost, then we would have talked more about the striker thing. But you're telling your wingers to play as centre forwards, and you expect them to be as clinical as a Sergio Aguero or a Gabriel Jesus. I think we are mistaken. I think we are shambolic in our defense. After scoring the first goal, we become overconfident. We just keep passing the ball for the heck of it. We create n number of chances, without really penetrating or God knows what. But I don't think I would blame my strikers. We can be more clinical, definitely yes. But I wouldn't blame my wingers, who are playing as my forwards for not being so clinical as an Aguero or a Jesus, because it is not their job, right?
Right,
They're playing makeshift.
right,
He's
right.
doing well, and if you see the goal that he scored, Sterling, it was quite good. The cut in that he made inside and the angle from which he scored, it was quite acute. Not an easy goal to score for a forward, right?
Right, right,
I wouldn't blame them.
right. Coming to you, Stavan, like what are the thoughts on Mendy now? I have been here doing this preview with Sid, Sanam, and Yash. I know their views about Mendy. I would like to know about your view on Mendy. Like, how do you feel as a City fan about Mendy and about a particular performance against Leeds?
Yeah, so Mendy has become a bit of a liability because he knows that there is no other left back who could give his competition. We have Zinchenko, which he's not at the level of City. He sometimes gets really good and then his form just falls off. Either he gets his injury or he doesn't get his game time. Then Mendy just makes mistakes like from nowhere. Like in the end of the first half, he could have cleared the ball and could have given a corner, but he just cleared the ball and gave it into the hands of Ailing. And then the same thing happened from Wolves last season, where he just gave
Yeah,
the ball to Adama Traore instead of clearing the ball.
right.
So that is not something that you would expect from a 50 million signing, as Siddhanta said. That is something really bad.
Right. So like every City fan has this notion, but there are certain City fans, supporting him and hope he brings that, value to this real team. Coming to you, Yash, there is one talking point that we all City fans were excited for. His name is Ruben Diaz. He made his debut on the day. So like how impressed were you? Like were you impressed or how impressed were you with his performance on the day against Leeds?
Yeah, it was quite good looking at the conditions, like what was happening at the game after the first half. So, yeah, not conceding one more. Ruben Diaz, it's all about the individual performance by a player. Sometimes when a team is in such a critical situation where the opposition has most of the possession. So, yeah, individually it was quite good from Ruben Diaz as a debutant, but he didn't have the best of the debut, one can say.
Right.
So it was good, worth, and with time, it might just get better.
Right. Community is said now on Twitter when I saw there was like a huge talking point about Rodri. There were so many, mixed opinion about Rodri that he is not doing the what we expect him to do. What are your thoughts on Rodri? Do you think that he is not up to the mark that many City fans think he should be?
Well, obviously, Rodri, this is his first proper season in the City Colors. He was signed last year, but like this is a fresh start for him. It takes time to adapt, and I think he's done a good job. I don't know why people are like blaming Rodri for this. Like he's a CDM at the end of the day. Like he does his job. He presses the ball, he passes it off. I don't see him making blatant errors like how I see Mendy do. But Rodri, I don't know why people are giving him so much hate, but I think he's a very quality guy. I think he's learned a lot from Fernandino, and his future looks bright in City colors. So I don't I really I'm in support of him.
Right. So again, Leeds we got 1 point, and then there were certain results that we saw. Of course, we are not going to talk about the score line, but there is one good thing for us that Liverpool lost, so they don't have those 3 points that they were sure for them. So now it kind of makes this settle this quite interesting now because of course we are not guaranteed to win many points in coming games, but this also gives us a chance that Liverpool are also going to drop points. So how Sir, I'm starting with you. What are your thoughts on now coming title race? How do you think? Because now we can also say that even Everton are now 4 out of 4. So they can also do Leicester
Yeah,
kind of season. Anything can happen.
yeah.
right?
That is what I wrote in the group. Yeah.
So what are your
So
thoughts?
I see this season to be very very tricky. Because there will be a lot of COVID-19 issues coming up with the team. Number one, that's the major point. So
Right,
a player's availability or unavailability can be very detrimental, mind you.
right,
Liverpool without just one player, okay, their goalkeeper, their defense turned so shambolic. It was like the Liverpool two seasons back. So that is what one key player can do, mind you.
right.
Uh, as far as City's title race is concerned, I genuinely don't believe that we are in the title race this season. It feels really bad to tell this, but uh, given this level of performance, sorry, we are not in the title race. I'll just keep it crisp.
Right. Coming to Stavan, as Saram said that we are not in title race. What are your thought about it now? Because we don't have many players available, but now after 2 weeks we will have many of our key players available. I guess Gundogan will be back. Hopefully, Gabriel, one of Jesus and Aguero will be back. Hopefully, Cancelo will be back. So there are certain, it is like a transfer window already. Like we are getting two, three, four players in our squad, quality players. So what are your thoughts on our coming title race, coming game
Yeah,
from
it
Anfield?
is. This Premier League season is going to be very tricky. Like we saw Liverpool drop points. There is Chelsea who is like bought in seven players and seven quality players. There is Everton who was like doing really good after Carlo Ancelotti doing his job with James Rodriguez arriving. And there is like really interesting thing is that the as Sanam said, the COVID is going to impact each and every team. Like there is one important big game coming, their center striker is not there. That would like turn around the entire game. We saw in Liverpool's match, Sadio Mane was also not there. So there, the Liverpool's front three were not as potent in attack as they were.
Right, right,
So
right, right.
like
So it's gonna be quite interesting, quite tough race. So coming to you,
yeah,
Yash, at next game, of course, it is like 2 weeks to go now, but it is Arsenal, who are also quite a tough opponent. Now, of course, they defeated us in the FA Cup match where we were quite favorites. Of course, we cannot do any team out of the whole competition, but we were quite favorite in that game. But they tactically outclassed us and they won against us. And now 3 points is what we are in hunt for. Now 3 points is what we need. So how important is the next upcoming game against Arsenal is?
It is quite important for us because after a poor start to the season, a win, a lose, and a draw. So yeah, it's just not the way a City starts usually. And Arsenal are playing really well under Michael Arteta, and he's been quite phenomenal at Arsenal, and they've been playing really good football. So after a 2 week international break with the returning of few important players, and also Aguero might return to first team training as well, and Jesus hopefully fit for the game. So yeah, it should be a better game as what we saw against Leicester and Leeds. But it's gonna be a tough fixture once again. Though it's at our home, but it should be tough.
Right. Coming to Sid, like we talked, I guess, two few weeks ago about like how much of our 12 points before Liverpool we should gather. One game is gone and we got 1 point out of it. Now we have three more games left, which will be 2 hours away when it's Arsenal. So now, like, how much pressure do we like? Because of course now Villa has bailed us out. Liverpool don't have those 3 points, which should have been the 3 points. But now we also got one chance to come back in the race. So how much are these next upcoming three games important for Man City?
Hey, I said this before. I don't care if Liverpool drop points or like anybody else drop points. We are Man City. We should win every game, no matter who drops points. And I mean, I'm very happy that Liverpool did lose points, but still, we are in 14th position on the table after 3 game weeks. We are 14th. I don't understand. Everton is first. I agree with Sanam and Stavan. Like this is a very tricky Premier League season. It's going to be very tough. But we need that Arsenal win, man. We need to get results. We need to get those W's on our games played. Those W's are very important for us because if we don't win against Arsenal, like what hope will we have that any top six side,
Right,
And what happened to Liverpool can easily happen to us as well.
right,
We lost against Leicester 5-2. So that's also not like that. That's also not to be taken lightly. But we have to. We need Aguero. We need Jesus. We need a striker in this squad. Like as good as Sterling is, we saw again in the in the Leeds game in the second half, he had a chance to
Yeah,
further our lead. That one-on-one, you'll remember?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He,
yeah.
he,
Yeah, yeah,
he,
yeah.
he tries to
Yeah.
do Messi-like things, but he's not Messi.
Right.
So we need a striker in the squad. We need people to back us up. We need goals. That's
Right,
it.
right. Now you just
And
reminded.
you know what, Tanmay? I'll just
Yeah,
interrupt. But I think I don't remember when we last had a negative goal difference. Okay, I'm talking about a
yeah,
negative goal difference.
yeah.
Remember,
That's what I was gonna tell.
we always used to, yeah,
Yeah,
we always lead that statistic always.
yeah. So just Siddhanta just reminded us that we are 14. That reminded me the fact that we are negative goal difference. And on that day, Peter Dewey, the commentator, gave us the insight that it was in 2008 that City had
Right.
negative goal difference, and it was first time under new ownership City had negative goal difference. So, man, the situation is not that good that we think it is. Okay, so now coming to our last point. Now, okay, done with the Leeds game, we have 1 point. Now we have so many good things to look forward. Now there is a big international break, but there was a transfer window. We managed to sign Nathan Ake, Ferran Torres, and Ruben Diaz. Certain things that we need to address, they were addressed. Certain issues which should have been addressed are not addressed yet. Of course, there are a few hours left, but there is no hope that we are going to sign any new player. So I would like to ask every one of you, each one of you, that how like if you have to rate this transfer window out of 10, what rating will you guys give? Starting with you, Sanam.
I would rate this transfer window as a 3 or a 4 on 10.
Oh, wow.
Not more than 4 on 10 for sure. Because number one, your priority should be a left back. People are just fucking you every week in and out. The Mendy's position is being exploited very, very badly. Number one. And number two, you need a backup for Sergio Aguero. You desperately need it. We know that he's going to retire in a year or two, and Gabriel Jesus is the only capable, and he'll be the only single striker left with the club.
Right,
Number three, you're replacing Leroy Sané, who's an established winger, who is a top-notch established winger. You are
right,
replacing him with a 20-year-old kid.
right,
Not done.
right.
Not done.
Coming to you, Stavan, like, what are your ratings for this transfer window?
My ratings would be, I think, 7, because we needed a Vincent Company replacement, which we got in the form of Ruben Diaz. I think he would be really good for the team. It would take him time to be at Company's level, but I think he would get there. And secondly, we got rid of Leroy Sané, who was a really good footballer. And when we got a 20-year-old prospect, Ferran Torres, I think that is also a great addition to the team. I think he would give an competition to Mahrez and Bernardo Silva as well. And then we have got Nathan Ake, which he could play as a left back, and he also act as a backup to Laporte, which is also a really good thing.
Right. So, what about you, Yash? What are the rating for this transfer window?
I'll rate it as 5 or maybe 4.5 out of 10, because it's quite disappointing to see a club like City not spending, not actually about talking about spending, but not signing what's required. A good left back and a striker. Like a striker and a left back are the main priority for the team. So yeah, and the departure of Leroy Sané has hurt us a lot. Like it's gone to the core, uh, as he's quite potential. Like, he was quite good at City, as Sanam said. So yeah, I wouldn't rate. It hasn't been so good for us during this window, and if you are left, I don't have any hope for them to sign someone.
Right.
So yeah, quite disappointing transfer.
I, I would like to agree with you and Sanam on this fact that even if we had Champions League ban, we could have got Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake because those were not an impossible signing. One is from Bournemouth, one is from Valencia. Those they were not playing Champions League. So even if we could have got those signings, so I could get your frustration like why it is disappointing. Coming to you, Sid, what do you think like about a rating of 10 for the transfer window?
First of all, I would like to say that I'm not disappointed that we sold Sane. He wanted to go. I mean, there's little you can do. I have a problem with the price that we sold him at. I mean, 35 million for a world class winger, is that the best we could fucking offer? I mean, he's Leroy Sane, and we've bought Ferran Torres for like more money than him. I mean, are we only good at buying players? What about selling players, man? Like, I understand, like, at least get 50 million, 60 million for him. Yo, Jadon Sancho's being bought for 120 million. And he's nothing in front of Sane. I'm saying this.
Right.
And after that, I'm not too disappointed by the transfer window. I think we addressed the problems. I don't think the left back position was such a problem as such, because I saw Joao Cancelo do a heavy job in the left back position. So I thought we found a replacement for Mendy. But the only problem was that he's not playing right now at the left back, because obviously he had coronavirus. So and we addressed our centre back problem. We got Eric Garcia and we got Ruben Diaz. I'm quite happy with those two signings actually. And Ferran Torres is too early for us to judge how good of a player he is right now. But I hope he's fruitful. I hope he does wonders for our club. I hope he scores a lot of goals, and he's a perfect replacement for Sane. So I would give this transfer window a 7 out of 10. I mean, it could have gone way worse. I mean, imagine if we had Stan Kroenke as a shareholder in our club. So I'm very happy with the Sheikh, and I'm very happy that he's giving us money to spend. So a 7 for me, seven,
You just mentioned
solid
that it,
7.
you just mentioned it could have gone way worse. It could have gone even the best if we had signed Messi, but it's not what it is. So thank
But
you.
Tanmay, I would like to interrupt. I don't understand what sense it made to sign Ake as well as Ruben Dias. Now we are going to start a game with only two central defenders, only two centre backs in any game, and that's what Pep usually does. So that would be Laporte and Dias, if
Yeah,
both are fit.
yeah,
Okay. So potentially you're leaving Ake and Stones already on the bench.
yeah.
So you've bought in Ake only to play for the cup and the league games. That's what you're saying. 40 million pounds for that?
I
That
think
doesn't convince me.
yeah,
No,
but
not convinced.
I think it is being a
We
left
we
player.
spent we,
I
we
think
spent 50 million pounds on
But
Stones, on John
I'll
Stones,
try
who
to.
was supposed to be a perfect Pep Guardiola player.
yeah,
Comfortable on the ball and all that shit. No,
But he's not. And
he's
I'm happy
he's
that we
not.
signed Ake, because right now we sold Eric Garcia to Barcelona for 15-20 million. 15 million, I think the deal was.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
can be as a
Yeah, I
replacement for
think
that
15.
also.
Yeah, but
And
I
Yeah.
think I think the need of Ake was to have this left-sided presence, left-sided center back in the team. So I think that was one of the main reasons that Pep was convinced that we should go
I
for.
do think so.
So let's hope that signing of Ake, all the signings that we've done proves to be right, and that helps us to win the trophy this season. So thank you guys, thank you for joining me, thank you for this amazing match analysis. So I want to end this episode with I just said that at the start that we won't mention the scores, but I would like to tell everyone that guys, come on, we can enjoy as much as we want because United lost 6-1 and Liverpool lost 7-2. So guys, thank you for joining me. Let's hope that we'll meet again after for the Arsenal game preview. So guys, thank you for joining me. Let's hope that City wrap up many points as much as they can. Thank you guys. Safety.
But you have to agree, Tanmay, that this season is very, very entertaining. Heads-on
Of course.
entertainment.
Yeah,
Like
of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
It is.
every
Cool.
match is turning out to be so freaking
Yeah,
entertaining. I was
I
watching
guess.
the Tottenham and United wala match. What
Yeah.
end-to-end football? What
You know
end-to-end
what?
football?
I
FIFA
guess
20 में भी नहीं होता यार.
more
मजा आ
than
गई.
more than
Talking about the West Ham and Leicester game, they defeated Leicester
yeah,
City. So at home,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's quite
This
shocking, surprising, full of like entertainment sort of stuff.
is
ये
unpredictable.
सीजन कोई रेगुलर टॉप 4 वाला टीम नहीं लेके जाएगा. देखो कोई और ही लेके जाएगा टाइटल ये सीजन.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
quite different.
Could be.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I guess there are more than 60 games, around 60 games are done. I guess there is no nil-nil draw, if I'm not wrong. That
Yeah,
shows
yeah, yeah.
that
There's
Yeah.
shows
no nil draw. Yeah,
that shows that what a quality, like
goal on
what
both
season,
sides.
what a season we are in up to now. So let's hope that, of course, let's hope one of our match don't end up nil-nil, or we should end up finals. So come on. So guys, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, take
Thank
care,
you.
and come on, City.
Come on,
Yeah.
City.
Thank you so much, Tanmay, for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Come on, City.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Yeah.